It is fall sweater weather season, and it's time to curl up with a really great book. And if you're a fantasy lover, I've got just the book for you. Let's take a look at The Coward by Stephen ARYAN. Hi everyone, welcome to Pen to Paper. I'm Leah Lindman, and today I'm so excited to highlight the book The Coward by Stephen ARYAN. Now, I meant to put this video out a while ago, but I went to Scotland, came back, and then just kind of had to reintegrate back into my normal life, and then I started teaching my kids school. And I'm finally back into AuthorTube and BookTube, so here I am telling you all about this amazing book. First off, it definitely has Game of Thrones feel in that there's a linear story, which is Calcressia. He is this hero that 10 years prior to the present story, he went off with a band of heroes to fight against this creature called the Ice Lich, which was in a creepy, cold castle way up high in the northern wastes, and he was the only one that came back from this band of heroes. And all these heroes were men who had stories behind them. They were the stuff of legends, and yet Cal, this unknown person, is just lucky enough with his hide to come back and try to live a life of peace and tranquility in his village. Unfortunately for him, he is now famous, and this is a fame that he is not seeking. He just wants to live his life. And now, 10 years later, similar things are happening to the Five Kingdoms. The days are getting the days are getting shorter. The weather is getting colder. The crops are not growing as well. And these were all signs 10 years prior to that made the Five Kingdoms realize there's something going on in the north. There's this evil growing, and it's happening again. And now the king has summoned Calcressia to go up north and defeat this new evil, whether it's the same Ice Lich or a new evil altogether. That I'm going to leave up to you to find out. So we have this linear story where we have this reluctant hero. He's a hero, but he's never sought this position as a hero. He has PTSD. He has trauma. He has these stories that other people who just kind of know the stories have taken and made songs and legends out of them, but he knows the real stories, and he's kept these in his heart and mind these long 10 years all to himself. And now he is summoned to go once again and fight. And he feels that he's a coward. He doesn't want to go up north and fight. I mean, these things that are happening in the Five Kingdoms may not amount to anything at all. And yet he knows that something's going on. Despite knowing that, he just doesn't want to give anymore. He feels that he's given enough. And yet the call of duty has come upon him from his king, and he almost gets away with it. There's this young boy, Garen, who comes alongside him and says, I'm going to follow you up to the northern wastes, and I'm going to kill the Ice Lich or whatever is up there, and we're going to defeat it, and we're going to come back in glory. And little does Garen know that he just doesn't understand. And isn't that interesting how young people are just so full of passion and full of oomph, and they just want to go for it, not fully realizing what's out there for them. And yet Calcressia is, in a sense, wiser in this way, and he is older, and he has seen things that Garen has never seen before. And not only Garen comes into play, but there's a character named Willow, who is from the Alfar tribe. She kind of has this mystery air to her. When I read the character, it almost reminded me of the Avatar, Blue people. I can't remember now if she's blue or not, but she just has that very, okay, that just freaked me out. Tarp blowing outside. She has this very quiet, predatory look, and yet she's very safe. She's friendly. Well, not friendly. Sorry. She has his back. And then there's all these other characters that come along, and kind of unwantingly, Cal just gets swept up in the motion of they're all going to the north to fight this evil. And that's kind of the main storyline. But what's really neat about this book, and this is where it kind of gets Game of Thrones, is that there's all this political intrigue on the side. You have chapters dedicated to the king who has sent Cal up to the north, and then this neighboring king who has plans of his own. But this king, I believe it's the king, is controlled by Britak. She is the high priestess of this religion that she holds to. And for her, everyone must bow down and be united under this one religion. Now, the Ice Lich is a force of nature in itself, or at least what we think is the Ice Lich. You'll find out once you read the book. That evil growing in the north, but Britak, she is quite the force of nature herself. She's very Machiavellian, sadistic. She will do anything she needs to do to get her agenda going. And that's what really makes her an interesting player. I'm really curious to see what happens in the second book, because in the first book, a chapter is closed, and then all this kind of side plot really, I could tell, is going to lead into the second book, The Warrior, which I'm really eager to read soon, hopefully by the end of this year. The characters were really well developed, and especially Cal Crescia, as I said, it just really showed the reader, I guess, a more real side to being someone who's fought in a war and who has come back, and what that character would really be like, and the struggles that they would go through, and the thoughts that they're thinking and why they're thinking those thoughts. It was just a great character study into Cal's character. And as I said, Willow was another favorite of mine. Just that mystery air about her. I could see she's going to also have a greater impact in the second book. Oh, one other character that I forgot to mention is the king's daughter. I can't quite remember her name, but she's very graceful. She's got a great head on her shoulders. She is next in line for the throne. You can tell that she's intelligent. She understands that there are pieces at play moving that are not quite known yet, and yet you could see she has the temperament, that she's ready for whatever's going to come. I'm really interested to see how her character is going to grow in the second book as well. Overall, it had such great fantastical elements while having those political sidelines to it. And if you're wanting a book that's gonna let the cold creep in a little bit while being under a warm blanket, this is perfect for this fall. Highly, highly suggest you get your hands on this book and read it. It's a 5-star read. Great job, Stephen. You got me hooked. And I really badly want to read The Warrior now. And if you have any other books, I'm gonna go check them out. So definitely look up The Coward by Stephen ARYAN. Thank you so much for listening to this book review. I hope that this is helpful to the author and helpful to you if you're looking for a great fantasy book that's not hardcore fantasy. It is dark fantasy, I should say. There are a lot of dark elements, and there's quite a few gruesome. Obviously, there's going to be war, there's going to be fighting. So there are a few gruesome moments, but very well written and easy to read. It's not drowning in description or things that we don't need to know. Everything is need to know, basically. Anyways, so tell me, are you looking forward to this read? Or do you think you're going to pick it up? Do you like fantasy in the first place? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to this channel for more book reviews, AuthorTube on Wednesdays, book reviews, and just books in general on Fridays. And I will see you next week.